welcome to Entombed. I'm Brenda, and this is Paige, and here we are again.
Here we are again.
Talk about
Welcome
books
back.
after
Yes.
a long week of not seeing each other once again.
Yes,
Just like the
yeah.
theme of
October.
October.
Yeah, but I'm about to have a life again, so that'll be nice.
Have you done any reading while you've been?
Oh yeah, I've done lots of reading.
She's been sick all week, so that's
yeah.
You've been ...
Yeah. So we're gonna see if we can use this, and if I don't start coughing, I literally just about
Great.
about to. Started last weekend. I read the Ember and the Ashes series.
I read the first one. I'm curious what you thought of it.
So I was telling my sister that the first book, I almost stopped reading it like halfway through because I was like, okay, I don't mind reading stories that are like tales, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I've read this tale before, but if it is like that, then I need to be like super engrossed by it. But I was like, but people are like so obsessed with this, so I was like, I just need to know why. So I kept pushing through. And what I would say is that the second half of the first book is the better half. It's when it gets better.
Interesting. Okay.
And then also the second, and like the world opens up. Like I kept thinking, I know exactly what's going to happen in this story, and I was wrong. I had no idea what was going to happen. Like throughout the whole series, by the end of the last book, it was like, no, I couldn't have guessed any of those things were going to happen.
Okay.
And a lot of things would be happening, and I would be like, in my head, I'd be like, well, how are they going to get out of that?
You read all 3 this week?
There's 4. No, I started last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, they were quick.
Sick.
They were quick, yeah. And I listened to them. And I would think one night when I started it? I started it last Wednesday, I think. And on Thursday evening, I could not fall asleep. So I listened to basically
all night
a whole
long.
book. Yeah. And then I slept for like 2 hours, and then I couldn't function the next day because I had slept for 2 hours. So then I had to listen to more of the book.
Great pattern.
Sorry.
Keeping you up at night, these books.
Well, that's not why.
More like insomnia, so trying to stay.
Yeah, that's not why. But it was helpful to have something to listen to. But what I would say is, in the end, I was like, oh, I couldn't have guessed that series at all. And I did like it. So that was kind of fun. And then in between that, I definitely read other things, but I don't remember what they are. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? That book that I made you go get with me, The Morning Sun.
Oh, yeah.
The Son of Morning.
Yeah, The Son of Morning.
I
just saw it at Walden today.
It's by this author who I like, who wrote Little Rod and the Death of Vivek, I think.
Yeah, I have that book.
I can't say her name correctly.
Nope, I don't have
I'm
that
not
book.
gonna butcher it, but look up those books. And I guess she just like writes everything. And so this was a fantasy romance. And that one I was like, I started it the day we got it, and within 20 pages, there's like a
I can't even say.
I'm just like in my head, I'm like, should I bring this up? There's just it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, this man's so hot, and then they're having in the hallway. I was like,
in 20 pages?
In 20 pages, yeah. I was a little bit taken
very
back by
erotic.
That. Yeah. Well,
it wasn't like romantasy.
Well, no, it is romantasy. So I was like, that's very romantasy. But I was like, oh, well, okay. That's not my favorite thing. And I've seen her write yearning in books, so I was kind of surprised, and I was like, oh, whatever. But I'm going to keep reading. And in my head, I was like, I wonder if there's like a reason. And there is. And then you do get the yearning, and you get the relationship development. And actually, I was like, I really like this. I haven't finished it yet because I have been too sick to be able to like read, and it doesn't have an audiobook. So I've just I haven't found a book to listen to. But anyways, that one actually I ended up being like, oh, actually, I think I might really like this in the end. I think she's just a good writer. She just knows how to write fun tales. And it's a fun romantasy. And yeah, it's horny, and that is great too. That's what you want out of a romantasy, an adult one.
Yeah, it's like that's not my cup of tea, romantasy. But glad it's working out for you.
This would be one that I would maybe have you try.
Really?
Because she's a good writer. Whereas there's other romantasies where it's like, well, it's fine. I'm pretty picky about romantasy. I don't actually like a lot of adult romantasy.
Yeah.
A lot of times I don't like it because the fantasy part is bad. And it's like, well then Why would I read this?
Then
Why
this
wouldn't
is
I just read a romance?
You're just trying to write
What's
a
the
cutesy
point?
romance
Yeah.
with elf ears.
I'll just read a romance. Because I also am a fantasy reader.
Yeah.
So like it matters to me that the fantasy part is good.
Yeah.
And so like that's what I'm usually looking for, and I do find that hard. That balance is hard to find. And this one I'm like, oh, actually, if there was going to be one that I was going to be like, give it a go, let me finish it. But
more than
maybe be this one.
Who was the other one that you made me read? Catherine Sunner. You made me read her.
She's a contemporary romance.
Yeah, I'm just talking about. Oh, I'm just talking about romance books in general. You think?
Oh,
more
yeah,
than that?
they're totally different. They wouldn't relate.
Not at
That's
all.
That's totally different. Yeah. They're not the same at all, because this is obviously very spicy.
Yeah, I don't like spicy romantasy though. That's like not my thing.
But if I was gonna make you read one, this would be
to try to be like, maybe you'll change your mind.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't think you would change your mind, but just as like here's like one of the better of the genre.
Got it. I've been listening to on audio. I just started listening to Tilt. Have you heard of it?
It sounds very familiar. Actually, my brain is trying to think of the cover.
It has the little bird. Tilt. This is helpful. We'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe the author's name is Emma. I should have this. My phone's too far away. I'm sorry to grab. But it's set in Portland. The intro is set in Portland and IKEA in Northwest Portland, which is where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So the settings are very surreal, and an earthquake happens, and this woman is very pregnant and going through a catastrophe. That's all I know so far. But I've been listening to that. And then I've been doing research we're going to be doing a series coming up soon on dystopian, 100 Years of Dystopian Lit. So I've been doing a lot of reading for that, and have been working on my selection for the 80s from Japan, called the Arc Sakura. But I also started listening to, there's a new biography of Gertrude Stein, and I started listening to that because I don't know a lot about Gertrude Stein other than kind of what everyone knows about her in that era. Yeah. So I thought, I wanted to get a new nonfiction book going in my circuit. So I added that one to the list. We call this the magical bowl of book prompts.
Yes. Mystical magical bowl of book prompts.
Oh gosh. Oh, I already know the answer to this one. Okay, so this one is the book that was hard to get into, but it was worth the commitment. There's a lot of books like that, I would say. The first two that came to my mind, I want to see if I have them on my... Sorry, this is really good audio. Is me just staring at my bookshelf. Nope, I don't have it on my bookshelf. Okay, so the one I'm thinking of is the book, one of my favorite authors, Kazuo Ishiguro. Yeah. The book, The Remains of the Day. That is a slow ass read, to be really literary about it. It's told through the narrator, this old butler who very sticks to old tradition and rules the house and is very classist. And it was so slow, and you get so bored by this butler. But I pushed through. Have you read this?
No.
Oh man. So I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but what I'll say is that there's a reason for the slowness and for the annoyance with the butler. And when I got to the end, I went, oh my God. That was like so well crafted, so amazingly done. Gets the point across. Amazing. So that one, and then a more recent would be, well, in the last 5 years, the book The Overstory.
Oh, yeah, I never finished that one because
it's a slow, I think I got like 100 pages in and I set it down for 3 months because it was like, this is a slow, and I was kind of like, okay, I get what you're doing. There's different trees and we tell a story.
That's
I get it.
Stopped. I got like halfway through.
It pays off though. I went back to it and it was more than what I thought. And it's really beautiful. So I recommend, if you're looking at either of those books and you want to challenge yourself to push through something for the payoff, those two.
Yeah, I literally stopped The Overstory because I was like, is this just little
tree snippets?
Vignettes of trees.
Not at all.
And tragedy around them. I was like, I don't really need this. But it's been years, so I'd have to start all over again. Well, I had no thoughts at first. But then while you were talking, I thought of one. I would say Prophet Song, was hard for me to get into, specifically because of the way it's written.
Yeah. It's like no punctuation. Yeah.
And no paragraphs. It's just like on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Which was really hard for my brain to like focus on, and the chapters are really, really long.
Yes.
So not only is it crafted in a way that makes my brain not want to read it, the chapters are long, so it's like a commitment to sit. I'm the type of reader I can't stop in the middle of a chapter, especially if there's no punctuation.
You're like, how am I ever going to find?
I don't know where I end it. But in the end, so I would say it wasn't.
That was like one of your favorite books that year.
Yeah, like it took me probably about halfway through, but like in the end, you see it's crafted that way for a reason, and I felt like it worked really well.
Yeah,
because of the way he pulls you along in the suspense, and like how
is that he who writes it? Oh, okay. I don't know why.
Paul Lynch.
Oh, right, Paul Lynch.
So yeah, I would say Prophet Song is one that I've heard other people say like they weren't able to get into it because of the way it was written, but I would say no, just keep going. So
interesting,
it's worth it.
For me, because I read it because Paige recommended it to me. She loved this book. I think it was like 2 years ago you read it, whatever year it came out.
Yeah.
The no punctuation, once I adjusted, like within the first few pages, to not looking for those natural stops, it made it so I couldn't stop reading because I had to finish these thoughts, and it was very stream of conscious. And it was beautiful because it totally matched the pace and the tension of the story, which is what it was building out. Prop Song's a great book. Definitely recommend that one. Any others that came to mind?
No, that's it.
That's fair.
There probably are others, but
it's a one-book prompt. I just had a couple that right away.
We'll sit here for 10 minutes while my brain tries to think of it. But
yeah, so if you've put any of those kinds of books in like a do not finish pile, maybe grab them out again and just know you're gonna have to focus a little more. But they do definitely pay off.
Yeah.
So we have a theme for today. We're doing another themed episode.
I thought of another one. We're talking about witches today, witchy books.
Yeah. It's November, but it's still Halloween in our hearts.
Yeah. Well, not even Halloween. I think
it's just witch season.
It's just witch season, which is fall.
We just had a full moon.
We're in late fall. Yeah.
We wanted to tap into witches.
Yeah. So for me, Circe, the first time I picked it up, because Circe is like a winding, weaving tale without a lot going on. Which can be hard for me.
Yeah.
So the first time I tried to pick it up, it was like not the time, and I put it down.
Yeah.
And then I picked it up again, and was like, it's like one of my. It was such a good book.
It was such a. So one thing before we talk more about Circe, we were talking about like, do we want to do an episode about witches and books with witches in it? And at first we were both like, we don't really I
actually think
books.
I like these books. This genre,
like a lot of the books with witches that my mind immediately goes to, because there's a shit ton of them out there right now, are romantasy. There's a ton of romantasy.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that's where my mind went. There's so many books about, the charming little it girl witch romantic comedy.
How funny. That's not
where you went.
No.
Oh, wait. So what kind of witch books don't you like? Like, there is a squirrel that she's distracted by. Charlie's going for it too.
I just didn't know what that noise was. I don't know. It wasn't. It's more of like I don't know how to describe it. It's more of like just a feeling like there's just more witch books that I've picked up that I didn't enjoy than I picked up that I did enjoy. So I don't know if it's necessarily a specific thing, or maybe it's like I don't know why. But I definitely was like, I don't think I actually I feel like I would like it, but I don't think I actually do. Or maybe it's like the way they obviously. We were talking about witches. They're like feminism is inherently a part of that. Yeah. Maybe sometimes I don't like the way the writers are doing it. I don't know. To be totally honest, I just know that like when we brought it up at first, I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, wait, I can't think of a single witch book I enjoyed. But then we came up with a good list.
It was a cool challenge because then we started really searching for books that we really enjoyed, and the first one was Circe, and that's by Madeline Miller. And this was, I think, not the first of the many, many Greek mythology retellings, but it was in the middle of it. Whereas now I feel like, do not give me another Greek retelling for 10 years. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But Circe, there are two that I really loved. But I'm going to talk about Circe.
Yeah.
Circe, I thought was such a beautiful story. And for me, like the feminist strength of it was just the woman's voice and her imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
So often when we think of like feminist literature, it's like the fighter who's doing so much for the world and is so strong and can carry everything. And this woman she's a witch. She's very strong. She's amazing, but she is flawed, and she is dealing with grief, and she is dealing with, I'd say, depression throughout when she gets cast out to the island.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, me too.
Do you remember anything else that you want to
say about it? Not necessarily, no. It's been a while since I read it. I just think
I would reread it.
Yeah, me too.
It's a reread for me.
I think I enjoyed that, like, Circe's a god.
Yeah.
And so you do kind of get a very long tale.
Yeah.
Of starting when she's a child.
Yeah.
Going, all the way through all the seasons of her life. I can't actually remember where we end with her because she obviously doesn't die. But I like that. I liked that part of it, which I wouldn't normally have liked. But I liked like how many different iterations you see of her.
That's true. I am also normally not someone who likes the generational stories where it's like, let's go through every generation of a family. But that's one of the things I love so much about the stories. It gave me kind of an encouragement and hope as a human living, watching this person move through these very different. Are you distracted by I have a moth problem? There's moths flying all over. But we don't have two hands, so we can't bat them. But yeah, seeing her in these different eras of her life, like young Circe, middle-aged Circe,
mom Circe,
lover Circe, warrior Circe, revenge Circe. You get to see kind of all these different archetypes of women. Is beautiful. So that was definitely, we're like, oh my gosh, Circe's a witch. That counts as a witch book, and it's not like Hocus Pocus
and
witch.
it's not one that you would usually think of, which I think makes it fun.
Definitely. And I'm gonna do one that you didn't read now because I think it connects well. Okay. It's funny, the three maybe four witch books we got were all witches from mythology and not witches in like the Halloween sense of witches, like I have a cauldron and I cast spells, but like witches from mythology. So Circe's Greek mythology. And then I've got, I read The Witch and the Tsar by Olesya Salnikova Gilmore. And this is a retelling of Baba Yaga, who is from Russian mythology, Russian folklore, who in the folklore is, known as this, do you know? Thank you.
I did
give me some response here.
In my head, you were like, and I was like,
no, I don't know. So Baba Yaga, I'm not super familiar with Russian folklore, which is why I picked this up, because so often our lit focuses on Greek and Roman mythology, and I was like, oh great, I want to learn from a different. But Baba Yaga, she is this witch, and her house has chicken legs, and she lives in this. I think they made this book Thistlefoot recently. There was a recent book, Thistlefoot, that was also about Baba Yaga.
Okay.
But she, she's known as kind of the hag, the crone with the warts and the big nose and all the things. So this is a retelling of her story, and it's also historical fiction, which is really interesting. So they intertwine what's happening with Baba Yaga through the reign of Ivan the Terrible and what's going on there, and the view on witches and being an outcast. And then again, you have the story of a woman who is an outcast, who is a healer, as a lover, as somebody who's been spited. And it's really lovely. I just enjoy it again. Like I love any kind of, not any kind of, but I love mythology retellings where it's kind of rethinking the view of a character that has been so typecast, which the witch is typecast. Same with Circe. It's like digging deeper and trying to give more depth to the story instead of the male counterparts that get the very complex story told about them. Yeah. So that was one. Paige hasn't read this one yet, but I picked it up. It had actually been on my TBR shelf for a year. Yeah. And then when we talked about doing witches, I was like, oh, I'm going to read it. And I love it. I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't love it. So I do recommend it. Cool. What's we don't have the third one with us, but the one that we both read.
I don't know what you're talking about. When you were like, our three main ones, I was like, I didn't know that we had three.
So that's Genevieve, Gornichec. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
And that one's a retelling of a witch in Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So I love that we've got like Greek, Norse, Russian.
Yeah. And that one, similar to Circe, was just a well-written book, and it was
wonderful. Good fantasy elements.
Yeah, right before that, I think you and I were on a trip, and we were listening to a nonfiction book about Norse mythology. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's a complicated subject because of the
I
author.
know. That's why I was like, I'm not going to say the author. I'm just going to say what we were listening to.
Yes, we were listening about Norse mythology. Yep.
I purposely did not bring up who wrote it. We were just listening to something about it. So that was like, it was kind of cool to, because I didn't really know. I knew obviously a little bit, like the stuff that you know in pop culture from like Marvel or something.
Loki and Thor's hammer.
Yeah, exactly. But it was kind of cool to have a little bit more information and then see it in this tale.
Yeah, so the Witch's Heart, the main character, oh gosh, her name is, I wrote it, I'm gonna pull up my notes here. I have to use my mic, I forget. She has a relationship with Loki at one point early in the story, and that's the part that comes from like the mythology people know is Loki had 3 children, and they are her children, and one of them is a wolf. They're all these different beasts and monsters who become haunted and are supposed to bring the downfall of the world. And she is their mother and raising them and trying to protect them from the gods and from those who know of the foretellings. I really like it. And then there's also some like sapphic elements to it because after Loki, she falls in love. She meets this woman who she falls in love with, and their love story I thought was really beautiful. And not in a like soft and gentle way, but in a people who've had trauma throughout their lives coming together and like really caring for each other. Angrabody.
Oh,
I want to say Angrabody, I believe is her name.
I don't remember at all.
Okay, well, that's great. This is a great storytelling session today. I'm just telling you about books, and Paige is listening.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about a book that you remember recently?
That I actually chose 2 Kingfisher books, and she actually has a lot of books with witches in it, so she's probably a good person to pick up. But Nettle and Bone was actually the second Kingfisher that I read. The first one was a romance she wrote. But this one isn't like the main character isn't a witch, but she like a part of her gang of people is a witch.
Her community.
The story is like the what is the word I want? The insinuating event is she's the youngest of she's like a princess, and she's the youngest princess, and her eldest sister gets married off to this prince, and then she dies because he kills her, and then the next eldest gets married off to him, and she goes to visit her sister, and her sister is basically like, he's abusive, he's crazy, and I'm just like is fighting to like stay alive and like hoping that she's pregnant at the time. And so then I don't remember her name, the main character Mara is like, well, I need to do something about this. I can't just let my sister die at the hands of this prince. And then I have to go marry him. Like, we need to do something about him. So she goes on an adventure to do something about him. And the first person that she meets is a witch who is like, yeah, I'll help you, but you have to do these things first, these impossible tasks. And then they go on an adventure together. So that's just a witch and a story.
Yeah.
And then the other one from Patee, Kingfisher, which is more witch focused, that you said you read.
I just read it. Yeah.
A Sorcerer Comes to Call. And that's about a witch who's a mother who's the abuser.
Yeah. The daughter is the main character.
Yeah. And her mother is a witch.
Is a sorcerer. Don't get us in trouble. We know
true.
They're different, but we're going to slide it in on this one.
That's true.
Feel free to yell at us.
That one, like, is a little bit more... That one's like more of one of her like horror mixture fantasy books.
I really enjoyed it. So Paige is sick this week. I was sick the week before, and so I listened to like 3 books, and one of them was Sorcerer Comes to Call.
Yeah.
And the main character is a child. She's 15, I believe. And that is interesting because we're going to segue into more like middle grade YA witch stories. Because this book to me could have been YA. The main character is 15, and like the whole story is about her getting out from under her mother's thumb and her mother, you know, her mother's violence. And the tension was really good. The voice of the 15-year-old was very strong. And it's told through the 15-year-old's voice, and then her mother like goes after wealthy men. That's like her thing. She's I was gonna say the opposite of a cougar. I guess sugar. She wants sugar daddies. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Anyway,
sure.
So, but then she kills them and gets their money in their land. But she goes after this very wealthy man and his older sister, who's in her like maybe 60s. Oh yeah,
she's so good. Yeah.
I think her name's Hester.
Yes.
So the story switches between the narrative of this older woman who notices the daughter and notices that she's not conniving with her mom, and the 15-year-old's voice. So you're going back and forth between a 15-year-old and a 60-year-old, and she did the voices so well. Like she never slipped going back and forth. Yeah, very well done. What shocked me, I don't know if you're familiar with the fairy tale Goose Girl. Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah, I knew that it was a retelling, but I know it, like it's in there, but from like childhood.
Okay, yeah, I really like the fairy tale Goose Girl. I love Sharon. I think it's Sharon Hale has a book called The Goose Girl. That's a YA book. Love her retelling. I had a really hard time understanding how this related to the Goose Girl. Yeah. It was a lot easier, I think, to think of YA and children books.
Well, we have one more adult.
We do.
Well, two now, I guess, but I've only read one. You've read two, which was the Fairy Secret Society of Witches.
Oh,
something like that, for like a cutesy one.
For a romantasy. Yeah, that is romantasy.
Like a cozy romance.
Yeah. The Irregular Society, the Secret Society of Irregular Witches,
something like
which
that,
we actually referenced in our last podcast because I was reading the second book, which is oh god, we're terrible. The Magical Innkeeper's Guide to Witchcraft, something or like that. Yeah. Sangu Mandana is the author. And those ones I really enjoyed as like a cozy fantasy romantasy witch story.
Yeah.
You know, nothing too surprising.
No, it's just a cute book.
I listened to that while I was sick as well, and it was like very comforting and lovely for like getting ready for winter.
Yeah. So like if you're like, well, okay, I don't want to read a story about traumatic like
witch stories of like
I just want a cute one. Yeah, that's a good cute one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true because the other ones are all traumatic.
Yeah. Nettle and Bone isn't traumatic.
Oh, okay.
It's traumatic-ish, but it's not as bad as When a Sorcerer Comes to Call. Okay. I mean, obviously there's an abusive prince who's killing
his
women.
Wife. So yeah, not traumatic at all.
But it's like
it's not as dark.
Yeah, exactly. I think A Sorcerer Comes to Call is like a horror.
Yeah.
Whereas Nettle and Bone, I think, is just a fantasy with like she always has a little bit of like because she does like romance and horror and fantasy, and I think all of her books always have a little bit of a mixture of both, but it depends on like which she's leaning more into.
This was my first Kingfisher book.
Kingfisher.
Well, I was just gonna say the last name. I see them all the time in the fantasy section, and for whatever reason, I've never picked them up. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, she's a fun writer. Yeah, sure.
I didn't realize she was a she either. Do you know what T stands for?
I don't remember, but I do at some point I've read
it. Great, we did our research.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about middle grade YA?
Sure.
Are you alive?
Yeah. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You're just looking real worn out. I'm a little concerned for you. I mean, mutual read, so you can intro it. You've got it in front of you.
You've read this?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I told you about it. I recommended it to you.
That's a true story.
Oh my god, don't you know I wrote this book?
So for YA, we are recommending Akata Witch, and it's a trilogy.
So good.
I've read the first two, but
You've only read two of them?
I haven't finished the third one, but I'm not great at like. I don't like it I don't like starting series until they're fully published
Oh, okay.
because I'm not the type of brain that
Can wait and remember.
Yeah, and we'll like pick it up again. I was good with the second one because it came out pretty quickly after this one, but the third one I think took a bit to come out.
Yeah.
If you can do it within a year, I might be able to do it.
You
But
should
this
have,
one took a while.
next time you're sick, or if you're still sick this week, you should listen to them on audio. All
Yeah,
three.
I do. I think I have that one. Yeah, but yeah, this is very good. This is about like Nigerian magic. I was just reminding myself Nigeria was the right country that I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember that much about it. You might remember a little bit more than me.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
sure.
this is Nnedi Okorafor, who I think previously in an episode I talked about reading Death of an Author, which is an adult book by her. But I first read her I think this is really middle grade books. But it's a story like the witch folklore of Nigeria and their magic systems, and it's a young woman understanding her power and her ancestors with two of her friends who also are witches, and it moves through the three books moves through kind of her aging. I think it starts when she's maybe 13 and goes up to like 17 or something. So you get to watch her growth and her understanding of the magic systems, and then all these characters from Nigerian folklore are involved in the gods and the orishas. And, it's really fun.
It's
and
fun.
It's a great read, but the audiobook is awesome as well. I love the audiobook because you get the full like Nigerian accents and you hear it as it's meant to be.
Yeah. No, it was I mean, I know I didn't finish it, but that's because it was too long in between. But I remember the first two books I was totally into.
I also randomly I had a bunch of witch books on my TBR list. When I was in London like 3 years ago. I always buy books because not everything that comes out in the UK comes out here, especially children's books. So it's a very different children's book market. And I picked up this book because of the cover. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it.
That's
it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's just a nice book to have.
And
on your shelf.
It's called Witch. And I started reading this and I could not stop. I do think this should not be like age barred. I think any age could read this. It's like a sorcerer comes to call, where you have a young character, but it is very, very dark. Like the opening scene, her mother is a witch and she's watching men drag her mother out and beat her to death.
Oh no.
And this is supposed to be middle grade. and then it's during it's set in a time like historical fiction time in the UK of witch hunts. And so she basically, this 15-year-old goes on a revenge for the 5 men she saw kill her mother, and it is brutal. But it's short chapters, the pacing is so tight, and the voice is so, the 15-year-old, kind of like Sorcerer Comes to Call, very ominous and spooky. You're just like, what is wrong with this child? Like, please calm down. And she's like, she has a sister who she like is very terrible to at first. So there's like the sister relationship.
Yeah.
And she meets some other witches, and she's seeking revenge for her mother who was a witch, and she disowned her mother though. She was like, you got to stop your witching ways. I won't be a part of this. But then she seeks revenge, and you'll have to read it. But it's again, it's middle grade book, but I think it's an adult dark fairy tale.
Yeah.
Any others that you wanna?
I think that was all the ones we wrote down. The list is on my phone for me to know.
Yeah, I have it here. Well, I had I feel like I'm doing all the talking on this one. I don't think you liked this one as much as I did.
Oh, no.
This is like a more like tarot card witchy book.
Yeah.
Witchy book. All Our Hidden Gifts. So this is Carolyn Donahue, who you were talking about her books the other day.
I like her adult book.
But this one is
Incident.
Set in Ireland, and this girl is in what do you call it when you're bad at school? Detention?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, when you're bad at school. You're bad at school, go to detention.
Go to detention. Even bad. She's in detention, and she's like the detention is like asking her to clean out some old classroom.
Yeah.
And she finds a deck of tarot cards that are bewitched,
Yeah.
and she gets into witchcraft. And it's just a fun. She meets her other witches, and they go deep into it.
Oh, you know what book also we wanted to talk about? You can finish that, but it popped in my head. Keep going.
Well, that
it's
was
another YA.
Great intrusive thought, because that was just that's it.
Okay,
I don't have anything else to say.
The other YA one that we talked about that we both read was The Invocations.
Oh yeah.
Do you know the authors? I don't remember the author.
I want to say Carrie Sutherland, but we'll throw it up on the screen if I'm
yeah,
wrong.
that one was very good. Another one that it is pretty.
It's pretty dark.
Pretty dark, and it's got some good horror elements. And it's about these 3 girls who are all 3 witches. I think one's just rich, but I think 2 of them are witches.
Did you say one's just rich?
Yeah.
2 of them are witches and one's rich.
And she just helps fund it or something. But the rich one is a part of the story in the witchiness. But that's another one where there's a mystery. There's like someone who's running around killing women who are witches.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure that out.
It's like a mystery horror.
Mystery horror. Yeah. Because there's some like
Crystal Sutherland.
Gross things.
It's very dark.
It
was for me
really good.
It was on the line of a little too grotesque.
Yeah.
I remember you liked
I was
it,
fine
and
with
I
it.
was
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah. I really liked it. So that's another one that I think is fun, and I listened to that one, and it was a good audiobook.
And she has a couple others that are that kind of dark thriller, supernatural. I haven't read them yet. I know I've seen them, but now that I've read that one and really liked it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try. But yeah, that one was fun. And those are, again, much more like your teenage witches who are learning spells and hexing, as opposed to these like deep folklore, mythological, very different, and very different from Akata Witch, very different from Witch, which is like Salem Witch Trials, but the UK, which always makes me think of the classic The Witch of Blackbird Pond. Did you ever read that as a kid?
No.
I want to revisit it because I don't know how it aged, but I didn't have time to revisit it before this. But that is a book about a young woman who is accused of being a witch in Salem during that era.
Yeah. If I did read it, I didn't remember reading it.
But yeah, so you have like a lot of different
versions of a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, different. Because I do think it was fun to think about it and be like,
yeah,
oh, actually there are versions of witches that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I maybe don't enjoy the classical way of talking about a witch.
Like
maybe
practical magic kind of thing.
Or definitely don't like that.
Eye roll. You got an eye roll.
I'm not one of those people. I know.
Why don't you like practical magic? I'm actually really curious.
I just don't. It's not for me. I don't think it's interesting. I've never liked it, which I know this is like fighting words for people because like even my best friend, every year she watches Practical Magic. She loves it. It's like it's a whole aesthetic now. It's a whole thing. But I just that's just not, I just don't care about that kind of thing.
Did you read any of those, like that era of movies, like, what was it called? What's the movie about witches? It's like three girls on the front. It's like Witchcraft or The Craft.
On the
in the
front.
90s?
Oh, do you mean, yes. The movie, or was it a book too?
No, movies.
Yes.
I don't know if it was
Yeah. I actually did like The Craft.
Oh, okay. I never watched that one.
Yeah, that one I did like. I just think Practical Magic is like a cutesy, I don't know. There's something about it of like, it's very of its time as well. And maybe if I revisited it I would like it more. But it's like very much like, we're 3 single women and we're witches.
And we're sexy.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. It's feminism from the 90s, and I'm not into that. Which is fine. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. If you like Practical Magic, I'm very happy for you. Enjoy that time. I wish I could enjoy it.
Did you ever read the book by Alice Hoffman, though, that it's based on?
No, I didn't even know it was based on a book.
Alice Hoffman writes a bunch of witchy books. I haven't actually read them either, so maybe we're just judging things prematurely, and we need to actually. If you've read the book and it's worth our time, please tell us. There's so much to read. We can't read everything in the world.
Yeah.
1998. I like having a laptop so I can fact check while we go.
Okay.
I always just want to know. Oh yeah, and The Craft was 96. Man, so much witch stuff in the 90s.
Yeah, actually I've been noticing this, I don't it's on my algorithm, I don't know why. But like I keep seeing like makeup and aesthetics of like witches from the 90s, like 90 witch outfits.
The ribbon and the velvet. I actually have a lot of 90s witch type outfits.
Yeah.
My Wednesday
it's on my algorithm because I like looking at it. It's not my style, but I like
I was a child of the 90s, so I can't help it.
Yeah. So anyways, we got a little sidetracked, but I did think it was fun to think about, like, actually there are a lot of witch books that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
I just, for whatever reason, maybe it's my own internalized patriarchy of like witches are bad. I don't know, because like there's the other side of me that does like feels like I should like it.
Yeah,
and that's why it came
you
up
do
so
tarot.
Easily. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, because like when you brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, I like witch books, and I was like, do I like witch books? So
now I can't even think of one I don't like, which is funny, but that's because I've been looking so hard for ones I enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're finishing off our autumn season with you with witches.
Yeah, so
and
moving into winter
with
dystopian. Time to get dark.
Yeah, with the end of the year and the end of the world.
Yeah.
So actually, we'll do a little preview. So we're going to be doing 100 years of dystopian literature, and we're going to start from the most recent and work backwards. So our next episode will be taking on 50 years of dystopian literature and talking about a book from each decade. So that's what's to come. So if you like dystopian lit, or you just want to nerd out with us, tune in next time on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts now. Woo-hoo! You can listen to us. We'll keep getting our audio better.
Yeah. We'll get better mics for the podcasting part.
When we hit 5 episodes, maybe we can treat ourselves to nicer mics.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Cool.
Deal. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. This was Untomed. We'll see you next time.